What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster. And now that we have a full weekend behind us, after the Dragon Age the FAILguard release, we can get a rough idea as to how well the game has performed.
I'm ruined. I have nothing left.
Yeah, this was not a good weekend for BioWare. This meme here has been making the rounds on social media, and it is completely emblematic of how the people supporting Dragon Age are behaving. The game's max concurrent player count did end up higher than what they feature in this meme though. By the end of the weekend, they couldn't quite hit that 90,000 mark, but they did end up getting 89,000.
Whoop-de-doo!
But the game really needed to hit and remain in the top 10 most played games on Steam in order to be a successful game. They really needed to hit those kinds of numbers in order for the financial numbers to work on this thing, considering how much money has to have been sunk into this title. But it just didn't happen. In fact, at the time of this recording, the game is barely in the top 30 most played games, being number 30. It is behind Baldur's Gate 3, as it has been fairly often all weekend, which, if you remember, that game came out a little over a year ago, and that is absolutely pathetic.
Oh no! We suck again!
To make matters worse, we now have evidence that a significant number of people who bought this game asked for a refund. This is likely the cultural auto intake crowd, those people who see a new game with a title like Dragon Age and they just have to buy it. They can't help themselves, but once they booted it up, they realized what they had done and they had the appropriate response.
I immediately regret this decision.
Get the hell out of here!
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitter or X, or whatever you want to refer to it as these days. I keep a list on there of games lousy with wokeness pinned to the account at all times for your reference. My handle over there is Dr. Disaster 1. But alrighty then, let's talk about Dragon Age and all the refunds which it looks like the game got hit with. I imagine that sometime in the next few days, all the game's journalists are going to be fed their new talking point update, and they're going to announce that the FAILguard has now sold 1 million copies. They will go on and on about how great this achievement is, despite the fact that this is a game that almost assuredly needs well over 4.5 times that number in order to break even. They'll gloss over that fact, and the fact that the game is getting destroyed by its contemporaries. They will act as though this is a game from some small-time indie studio or something like that, when in fact this game comes from a studio that is as corporate and large as it comes. But before they can celebrate this so-called massive achievement, they have to contend with a sizable chunk of refunds which appear to have hit the game. This was discovered by Hypnotic, and he tweeted about it here. He said, "Interesting discussion around the numbers of Dragon Age the FAILguard. Yesterday, when looking at the analytics, it was estimated this game sold 536,000 copies. There's been talks of massive refunds, but I can't find much evidence, obviously, since they hide that information. Total players was estimated to be 536,000. And then he includes this image here in the tweet. This is from the website Gamealytic, which tracks sales data from Steam, and it does indeed show that at one point the game was at 536,000 copies sold. But the tweet continues, now today, 1 day later, total estimated players and copies sold is 429,100. This is a nearly 110,000 player drop from yesterday. I never seen the numbers go down like this during estimations. Game analytics must have access to some information we do not have. And once again, he provides a screenshot from Gamealytics showing the game at 429,000 copies sold. For reference, this is what it looks like right now. About a half a day after this tweet was originally posted, the game is currently estimated to have sold about 479,000 copies. Hypnotic said in his tweet then, I think this will lead the argument to the massive refund stories we've been hearing. Streamers have been seen buying the game and refunding it in 2 hours after they got their first stream done on the game when it was hot to talk about it. And yes, I do agree that a portion of these numbers was likely streamers who wanted to get essentially a free stream from the game by playing only a couple hours and then refunding. But I'm willing to bet that a massive chunk of these numbers dropping off, a massive chunk of it is just organic, with players trying the game out and then saying hell no to the crazy bad gameplay. And also, I wonder how many of these numbers are people who got the game for free. As you may remember, Dragon Age ran a promo where you got the game for free with the purchase of certain PC accessories, so there's certainly some number of those people who are playing the game, but it's unclear if they would show up on the Gamealytics data as a copy that was sold. I'm wondering out loud here whether or not some of these sold copies that were eliminated from the site's data, I wonder if some of those were actually free copies that they removed from their calculations. It's hard to say for sure, but the game certainly doesn't seem to have staying power. The thing is, the retention rate for Dragon Age isn't very good either. Those who didn't get refunds don't seem to be playing it as much as you'd expect on the launch weekend. Grums posted this yesterday after about 3 full days of Dragon Age being available for gamers to play it. Only 13.9% of players have made it halfway through Dragon Age the FAILguard. There are 12 parts. Only 0.2% have completed it since launch. The thing is, at the moment, we are sitting at around 500,000 purchases for the game on Steam. I'll bet you that with PlayStation and Xbox, they are somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 million copies sold. So I expect that announcement from the game journalists sometime in the next day or so, but the burst of players buying up new games always happens in the first several days after launch, and the sales on this thing are going to slow way down moving forward. My expectation is that they might limp along to 2 million sales, but I struggle to imagine it getting any higher than that. So this game looks to be a massive failure, but I'm going to leave it there. Drop your mockery of Dragon Age into the comment section below, and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.